besides that, and moving forward, why do you think people have such a hard time believing that not all single women are looking for men? I mean, that's kind of how you started the book a bit, where,
Mm-hmm.
it's almost inconceivable, like, that you're not looking for somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Why is that? And what's your experience with that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I start the book speaking about how single women are perceived as being on the prowl for a man. Like you can't go anywhere, you can't do anything without looking for a man. And while I try to maintain the position that I'm open to relationships, always open, because that's the way I want to remain. I don't want to be closed off and pass up on someone or something that could be amazing. So I try to remain open, but I've never been on the prowl, for a relationship. Like I say in the book, if I go somewhere with my girlfriends, I go to have a good time, enjoy my girlfriends, enjoy the setting. But then there's this perception like, oh, well, let's see who's in the room with for that we can hook you up with. It's like being single is always treated as a problem, that needs to be solved. And I think a lot of why it's viewed that way is because of, societal perception, especially for women. Traditionally, we've been homemakers, and it's been our duty to, be there for the man and to get married, and we're taught to aspire to marriage. So if you see a woman who isn't doing any of those things, or who doesn't place as much emphasis on it as you're used to seeing, you think there's something wrong. Like, hey, you're not
Mm,
supposed to be like that. What do you mean you're comfortable single? You can't be. You're a woman. You need someone, So I think most of it comes from societal perceptions, and it's supposed to be a dream of ours to like be a bride, one day,
right.
and be somebody's something.
Yeah.
And that's the most disheartening part, because it takes away our identity as women. Like, just being a woman is enough. Just being who you are is enough. But
Mm,
it takes that away when you're kind of diminished because you're single, or you're not married and you don't have children, and somehow it becomes diminishing to who you are as a woman. And I think that's the most unfortunate result.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. But then you go into how people you go more into how people are perceiving you, besides there's something wrong with her, but you specifically talk about married women thinking that they are almost superior than you because they are married and
Hmm.
you're not. And I have personally seen this
Wow.
and heard it, and
Hmm.
and I almost feel like the amount of years, like it's like a badge of honor, and not, and by
Hmm.
all means,
Hmm.
if you could be married for 30, 40, 50 years,
I
and
salute you.
right, that's amazing. But there's almost like this flair of being superior because, well,
Hmm.
honey, I've been married for, I mean, this is what I've heard.
Hmm.
I've been married for 25 years, so and they all of a sudden, they're this expert. So
Hmm.
how have you, and you talk a little bit about this, but if you could just discuss how you've been treated, or what were your experiences in regards to this?
Hmm. Yeah, it's very strange, but at the same time, I get it, because, like I said, of the whole societal perception. So, as women, we've been raised to believe, like, to have a man is an accomplishment, it's an achievement, something that we are to aspire to. So, if you are married or you are in a relationship, you kind of view that as an accomplishment, like, hey, I got a man, I snagged a man, as though he's some kind of prize or something. And and just that mentality in and of itself I don't like, because, like I said, once again, I just feel like it's diminishing to women. Like, why is just getting a man a prize? Like, I can be a prize too, you're a prize too. And I think that's what leads to, the misconception, like, throughout history, of, men in general just feeling like all you need to do is show up. Like, and, like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm if I'm choosing you, you should be happy about that, or you should be appreciative of that, and taking away your ability to choose. So I think that's where it stems from, us being raised to think that, snagging a man is something to aspire to, and it's an achievement. So if you've done that, it can kind of give you a little superiority complex, like, yeah, I have a man, like, she's single, so she doesn't know. So I think that's where it stems from. And my experience with it has been, of course, no one comes right out and says that, but it's kind of been more subtle. Like, if I'm at an outing, how I just mentioned with, other women, it'll be, as soon as I come into the room, it'll be like, okay, let's find somebody to set Acamea up with. Who's in the room? Oh, there's no potentials here. But then all the